What if I told you that not everyone walking around is just an ordinary person? That some people carry a mark so deep, so undeniable, that the world reacts to them differently? These people are not just believers. They are chosen by God. And if you're watching this, maybe, just maybe, you are one of them. But how do you know for sure? How do you recognize the marks of the chosen? In today's video, I will reveal 7 distinct marks that set the chosen apart from the rest of the world. These aren't just random traits. They are deeply spiritual, deeply personal, and they manifest in real-life experiences. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may discover something about yourself that you never realized before. And before we dive deep, make sure to subscribe to this channel. If you love deep biblical teachings that open your eyes to the truth, then you don't want to miss out. Number 1, the mark of unshakable faith in storms. Let's be real, life is hard. People lose jobs, go through heartbreak, experience financial struggles, and sometimes everything seems to be falling apart. For the average person, these trials feel like a dead end. They panic, they break down, they blame God. But for the chosen, something different happens. When life knocks them down, they don't stay down. They may cry, they may feel pain, but deep inside, there's an unshakable faith that refuses to die. It's as if something inside them keeps whispering, "This is not the end. God is still in control." Think about the story of Job. He lost everything, his wealth, his children, even his health. His own wife told him to curse God and die. But Job refused. He held on, even when nothing made sense. That's the mark of the chosen. They don't just have faith when life is easy. They have faith when everything is falling apart. Have you ever been through something that should have broken you, but somehow you kept going? That's not normal. That's a mark of the chosen. Number 2, the mark of isolation and rejection. This one is painful, but it's real. If you are chosen by God, you will experience rejection. Not because you did something wrong, but because of who you are. People won't always understand you. Some friends will distance themselves for no reason. You'll notice that certain opportunities that come easily to others seem blocked for you. Even within your own family, you may feel like the odd one out. Why does this happen? Because chosen people don't fit in with the crowd. You carry something different. When others are comfortable in sin, you feel convicted. When others chase after the things of this world, you feel drawn towards something higher. And the world doesn't like that. Look at Joseph in the Bible. His own brothers sold him into slavery. Not strangers, his own flesh and blood. Why? Because he had a mark of greatness. The favor of God on his life made others uncomfortable. If you've ever felt isolated, rejected, or like you don't belong, don't be discouraged. It's a sign that God has set you apart for something bigger. Number 3, the mark of spiritual sensitivity. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt that something was off, even though no one said a word? Have you ever had a strong feeling to avoid a person or situation, and later realized you were right? If so, you might be carrying the mark of spiritual sensitivity, one of the strongest signs of a chosen one. Chosen people have a heightened spiritual awareness. They can sense things before they happen. They can discern hidden motives in people. Even when those people are smiling and pretending to care, they can feel when God is speaking, even in moments of silence. This is not just intuition. It's a spiritual gift. The Bible tells us in John 10, verse 27, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." The chosen are not led by emotions or circumstances. They are led by the Spirit of God. They don't just make random decisions. They feel a deep inner pull toward or away from things. And that pull often turns out to be the voice of God guiding them. This can be a lonely journey because most people around them don't understand it. Have you ever tried to explain to someone why you made a certain decision, but they just couldn't see what you saw? That's because spiritual sensitivity is a gift given only to the chosen. If you find yourself picking up on things before others do, if your spirit feels disturbed when something is not right, if you feel God speaking to you in ways others don't understand, you carry the mark of the chosen. Number 4, the mark of unusual attacks and warfare. This is a hard one, but it's real. The chosen ones don't live easy lives. If you are marked by God, you will face battles that others don't. Some people can live in sin, do whatever they want, and nothing happens. But if a chosen person even thinks of stepping outside God's will, everything starts falling apart. Why? Because the enemy is always watching, always attacking, always trying to destroy those who are chosen. Let's look at Moses. Before he was even born, Pharaoh ordered the killing of all Hebrew baby boys. Why? Because the enemy saw that Moses had a destiny. Before Jesus was born, King Herod did the same thing. When a chosen one is coming, the enemy tries to stop them before they even start. Have you ever wondered why your life has been full of battles? Why you face struggles that seem unfair? It's because the devil sees something in you that you don't even fully see in yourself. The bigger your calling, the bigger your battles. But here's the good news. If you are still standing, still praying, still seeking God after everything you've been through, it means the enemy failed. If your life has been full of unexpected attacks, disappointments, and betrayals, it's not because you're unlucky, it's because you're chosen. Number 5, the mark of unexplainable favor. Despite all the attacks, chosen people carry an unusual kind of favor. Things may be hard, but somehow they always land on their feet. Think about Joseph again. Even when he was thrown into prison, God's favor followed him. He was promoted, given authority, and eventually rose to second in command in Egypt. The same thing happened to Daniel, taken as a captive but later found himself advising kings. This is a pattern with chosen people. They may struggle for a season, but doors always open for them in ways that don't make sense. People may try to hold them back, but something about them forces success. It's not because they are special. It's because God's hand is on them. Have you ever experienced situations where people help you unexpectedly? Have you received opportunities you didn't even ask for? That's favor. And favor is a mark of the chosen. But here's the key. Favor always comes with responsibility. God doesn't bless chosen people for their own selfish gain. He blesses them because he knows they will use it for his kingdom. If you've experienced moments of supernatural favor, doors opening where there were none, it's not random. It's a mark that God has set you apart. Number 6, the mark of restlessness in the world. Have you ever felt like nothing in this world truly satisfies you? You may enjoy success, relationships, and achievements, but deep down, there's always a hunger for something more. The chosen are never comfortable in this world because they don't belong here. The world tries to distract them with money, fame, entertainment, and pleasures, but none of it ever feels enough. Why? Because their spirit is connected to something higher. Jesus said in John 15, verse 19, "If you were the world would love its own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you." This restlessness is why the chosen always feel a pull toward God. They can't stay long in sin. They can't live like everyone else. Even if they try, something inside them always brings them back. Have you ever felt disconnected from the world system? Like you don't truly fit in anywhere? That's because you were made for something beyond this world. Number 7, the mark of a deep hunger for God. This is the strongest mark of all. The chosen don't just believe in God. They crave him. They long to know him more. They seek his presence, not just on Sundays, but every single day. Even when life is good, they still pray. Even when things are working out, they still seek God. They are never satisfied with where they are spiritually. Think about David. He was a king, but his greatest desire was not power, it was God. He wrote in Psalm 42, verse 1, "As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God." The chosen ones have a fire inside them that never dies. They are drawn to prayer, worship, and God's word, not because they have to, but because their spirit craves it. If you feel this hunger inside you, if you long for God in ways others don't understand, it's because you are marked. Now, after hearing all this, do you recognize these marks in yourself? Have you experienced the isolation, the attacks, the favor, the restlessness, the deep hunger for God? If so, then you are not just an ordinary believer. You are chosen. But being chosen comes with responsibility. It means you must walk in obedience. It means you must protect your spirit from distractions. It means you must surrender fully, to God's plan for your life. The world may not understand you. The battles may not stop. But remember this: you are set apart for a purpose far greater than you can imagine. If this video spoke to you, leave a comment below and let me know which mark stood out to you the most. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so now, because we're going deeper into these powerful truths every week. May God bless you, chosen one. Keep walking in His calling.